So now I'm going to demonstrate how the estimate based on the analysis of accounts receivable method works. And this again would be of our company that's using the allowance method to record their uncollectible accounts. And so at the end of the accounting period, they need to make an adjusting entry to record their bad debts expense for the accounting period. So in the example I'm going to show you, we have a company, Siratka and Associates, and their year end is September 30th. They've got $10,200 in the accounts receivable, and their allowance for doubtful accounts has a credit balance of $550. And so here are the accounts that make up their accounts receivable. And so to do an aging schedule, we're going to take each customer's account and we're going to place it on an aging schedule based on its due date. So the first one, Ordonez, has a due date of October 10th. Well, we're doing this aging schedule as of September 30th. And so October 10th hasn't gotten here yet. So we'll place that 1974 balance in not yet due because their balance hasn't been due yet. Then we'll look at Manuel with a balance of May 18th. And we'll place that in the over 90 days past due. It's been more than 90 days between May 18th and today, the date of the aging schedule, September 30th. Durham was due September 12th, so that's 1 to 30 days past due. Eldred was due July 21st, so that's 61 to 90 days past due. Valentine was due August 4th, so that's 31 to 60 days past due. Thomas was due on October 19th, or it will be due on October 19th, so it hasn't come due yet. We put it in not yet due. Baldwin has a due date of October 23rd. So again, this is another one that's not yet due. Wells was due on August 18th. So we put Wells in the 31 to 60 days past due. Canerco was due on September 27th, so it was just due 3 days ago. So we put that into 1 to 30 days past due. Baines isn't due until October 12th, so that's not yet due. And then Perry was due September 16th. So that's 1 to 30 days past due. Then we need to total up the columns. After we total up the columns, then we're going to be looking at the percentages to apply. So for every category, management is going to be assigning a percentage that we don't think we're going to collect. And you see those not yet due, we think we're going to collect most of them, but the longer they're overdue, the higher the percentages that we don't think we're going to collect. So for each of the categories then, we'll multiply the total by the percentage. And then when we get those answers, we can see the amount that we don't think we're going to collect for each category. We'll then add them all up, and that comes to 694. So we think 694 of our accounts receivable of 10,200 will not be collected. And so we want to show the 694 as our ending balance in the allowance for doubtful accounts. So if we look at our allowance for doubtful accounts, we can see it has a credit balance of $550 in the account. And then we want it to have a balance of $694. So we're going to have to make an adjusting entry on September 30th to bring it to $694. So we know our accounts are to debit bad debt expense and credit allowance for doubtful accounts. Well, we're going to make this journal entry for 144. Debit bad debt expense 144, credit allowance for doubtful accounts 144. Because when we post that credit to the allowance for doubtful accounts, we end up with a balance of 694 in the allowance for doubtful accounts. And that's what the aging schedule told us should be our balance. So that's how we do it under the accounts receivable aging method.